Is it fanon or canon?
Of course, since we're based off of one of the canon clone trooper units in Star Wars, obviously our namesake, I like to adhere at least to its lore, um, while still kind of expanding on it in a point where it makes sense. That's
Yeah.
why we have some different aspects of it, like special forces and the recon division. We expand more on the recon division. We give it a lot more of the generic classes.
Would you say that all these fanon parts are still like grounded in canon in some way?
Most of them, yeah. If not, they're specialties that we like. I don't know. You could say divined to
Yeah.
like where they make sense. They're not canon, but they make sense. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
because a lot of what I envision when I'm, especially when I'm creating other stuff, not just for the 212, what I envision is that like an ideal kind of battalion is one that you would take a look at it and you'd ask yourself, would that fit in Star Wars? And if you
Mhm.
can immediately picture in your head, like, I don't know, something showing up in like a TV show, um, then I'd say that's like you're basically making Star Wars stuff. I'm pretty picky about how Star Wars content is made in communities like this, and
Mhm.
while I'm not proud of it all the time, the 212 is probably one of the most successful, I think, at adhering to canon.
Yeah. Um, it's based in the fourth quarter of the Clone Wars, right?
Well, it seems to me like I never really situated personally on what specific date
Mhm.
we're set in.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, I feel like we're just stylized in 212 throughout the course of the war because we have people both using phase 1 and phase 2 stuff. Also,
Yeah.
we like aside from canon stuff, we obviously draw influence from legends because
Oh, yeah,
we're
that's true.
we're expanding a lot more because Second Airborne apparently isn't recognized as canon,
Well,
which
that's bullshit.
kind of sucks.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
it
They
really
were in a
sucks.
movie.
I really think we don't have specific like time periods. We're kind of amok when it comes to our storyline. It
Yeah.
could be like I feel like maybe some people would create like sub stories of stuff of their characters and things. And there's a lot more stuff I want to do with the 212, but within the limits of me just being me and people being other people, obviously I can't control
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, obviously.
I just feel like it's nowhere where I want it to be right now.
That makes sense. Uh, let's see. Um, let's talk about your position on like some of the other servers around the community. There's a there's a large amount of servers, like a massive amount of servers that are using like Stinnett guards and that are using like all of this shit that clones usually didn't have. Hell, your own server has a special forces attachment, which I mean has shadow ARF troopers and so forth. Which I mean, granted, ARF troopers are an actual part of the Star Wars lore, but like, how do you typically feel about how do you typically feel about people using those kinds of, nulls and full alpha squads and Cynic Guard and all that shit in their own server?
First off, I know that a lot of people would. I think this has actually been in multiple servers how like a lot of their leaders set up a personal guard as like their main thing. And to me that's I think very against the point of like what clones were, because clones were just kind of that they were expendable. They weren't as valued as like a regular commander would be. Those guys would have their own escorts and things. So having an honor guard, especially one that's wearing Senate guard stuff, because obviously we've all seen that,
Yeah.
is kind of not accurate to Star Wars.
Yeah. It's like you go around the community, you see all these people in St. Arts. First things first, like if you have your own honor guard as a clone, just why? I mean, I understand the idea of having an honor unit, like an honor guard, for example, but clones, even the nature of clones, commanders, martial commanders, they were bred for conflict. They weren't made
They weren't made for
to
parade.
not be able to fight. You're made, like clones are made to fight. There's no hiding it. That's just straight up what it was. It's been said in lore multiple times. It's stated, and it's even been stated that commanders had to be more capable in combat than regular troopers, like ever could be, really, because
Yeah,
all of the
that's
commanders.
why, because in lore, a lot of commanders, especially Cody, Bakara, Bly, even Rex, they got some special degree of arc training. And in Legends, I think this was from one of the alphas.
Yeah, it actually was from Alpha, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
Alpha 17, right?
Yeah, Alpha 17.
Yeah, they all got special degrees of training and stuff like that.